You're listening to the Dark Mage of Rhudaur, a Middle-earth role-playing actual play podcast presented by Geek at Arms. This episode may seem a little bit disjointed because we're actually smashing two sessions together. We only had half the party for 1 week and the other half for the next week, and so I did my best to intercut them together. Hope it makes sense. Everybody gets back into the tower, and Ynarri rushes up to her husband. He's injured, but not severely. Mostly he's just angry. She comes to him, she's got some bandages, and she starts to rip at his sleeve to try and get to the wounds. He waves her off and says, This is minor. Attend to the most grievous wounds first, and then our friends. There's much to do with Marindil. The barracks are under your care. Take care of my men. And he stomps out into the hall toward the stairs. Ynarri goes to the most terribly wounded men first, especially that guy that had been mauled by the wolf and then was being dragged off by the troll. He was in really bad shape. She administers some healing to him first. As the hour passes, she gets most of the worst wounds taken care of so that nobody's actually going to die, at least nobody who didn't die in the battle. And then she gets to you guys. And if I recall, Mhenuk, you had a severed muscle in your lower leg.
That sounds about right.
And Aragost had a torn tendon also in the lower leg. And she binds those wounds up, spends some magic on them. And as she finishes, you notice she's just looking really drawn and tired. And she just barely gets the last of the magic cast when she collapses. And this fellow, Tonfall, this is Tonfall, the second sergeant. He came through it unwounded. So when Ynarri collapses, he comes over to her side, splashes a little water on her face to try and rouse her. But that doesn't bring her to, so he takes her in his arms and carries her toward the stairs. The two of you are both, your wounds are healing rapidly. You'll have, Mhenuk, you'll have a 6-hour recovery, and Aragost's will be 10.
That's better. I thought I was going to be sleeping for like 3 days.
And did we rest overnight?
It has not
yet.
yet been night yet.
Okay.
This is immediately after the battle.
Cool.
So then do either of you want to do anything at this point?
I was going to take Enfeld upstairs, but it looks like somebody else took care of that.
Do you want to assist him?
Yeah.
All right, so what do you do?
Just get her put in what is still currently her bed, at least until probably tomorrow when she finds out that she is now the lady of the tower.
Okay. So you catch up with Tonfall as he's trying to maneuver her up the stairs, which is difficult because it's tight quarters, and she's a rather tall woman, taller than he is, in fact. And he's like trying to get around the corner without banging her head against the wall. Do you say anything, or you stand there staring at them?
Here, pardon me. Let me help you, sir.
Oh, he looks a little bit, for some reason, unhappy with the assistance, but he allows you to help him. And he supports her upper body while you grab her feet, and you manage to get her around the corner without injuring her and up into her bed. You leave her there, the door closed.
Yeah. If possible, locking it, just kind of keeping her safer.
All right.
But
the key for your room, the room that you've been staying in, fits her door.
Good.
So you can lock it with your key.
Yep. Lock the door.
All right. You probably need to spend the night healing up to get full use of your limbs back.
Yeah. 10-hour nap sounds fantastic.
So then 3 per hour. Mhenuk will be completely healed, I believe, by the end of that. Aragost will be down by only 38, and both of your penalties to activity are gone.
Yay. All right. Down by 38.
Glock. It is nighttime. Where you are, it is dark. It is very dark. And you're hearing these whispering voices all around, just on the edge of being able to understand what they're seeing, what they're saying. And then you get this feeling that somebody is watching you from behind.
Okay, so
What
we
do
got
you
a
do?
feeling someone's watching us from behind. I want to look backwards and just like see if I'm seeing anything.
No, just you. You're the only one here.
Okay, sorry. I think I've zoned out. Why am I the only one here?
Who knows? It's very dark. You can't even tell exactly where you are.
Okay. So basically just woke up somewhere crazy. Then I want to... It's very dark. Okay. I want to ready one of my light spells to kind of get a blast and see where we actually are.
Okay. So I assume that's projected light?
Yeah, projected light. That's the one that goes from my hand. Okay, yeah, that's what I want to do.
All right, so a beam of light emits from your hand and you shine it all around. And looking out into the darkness, it's just dark. You don't see anything there. And when you turn around, you get just a glimpse of white skin and black feathers. And you hear something moving and it darts out of the light.
Ooh, I don't like skin and feathers. Okay. Do I hear anything?
You hear a little bit of like a rustling sound and the sound of bare feet slapping on stone.
Oh. Bare bird feet or bare like feet?
It sounds like normal fleshy feet to you.
Okay. And then I'm gonna go towards that.
Okay. You take a few steps forward, shining your hand back and forth, and suddenly, really close to you, just coming up out of the darkness, is a what you take to be a fairly handsome human face, tall man with black feathered wings rising from his shoulders. And I have a picture here somewhere.
Oh, okay. Bird person. That's nice.
Yeah, so you see him for just a couple of moments, and then one of his wings sweeps between you and him, and he vanishes. At the same time, the environment that you're in, actually, first make a resistance roll, essence resistance roll. The button for that will be on the first page of your character sheet.
Ooh.
In the defenses area.
Defenses, essence, okay.
106. And you are level 4. So that is a successful resistance roll. You get the sense that this being, whatever he is, was trying to figure out where you are, but being as resistant to the essence as you are, you managed to keep him out of your head. But as he flees from your dream, he pulls you along with him, and you wind up somewhere else. You're in a well-appointed stone chamber. It looks like one of the rooms here in the Tirthon. And you see that woman, the Dunedain woman, Eanfled.
Oh.
She doesn't seem to be aware of you or of the black-winged phantom standing behind her. And he's pressed up behind her, right up against her back, and he's whispering something in her ear. And at the same time, she is embracing another man that he's got no face. I mean, he has a face, but it's indistinct. You can't tell who it is. And as she embraces him, the dream falls apart and you wake up in the dark, realizing, oh, hey, this was a dream. And so that spell that you cast cost no power points. You didn't actually cast it.
Okay.
So then let's take a look at this room in the lower cellars. All right, down in the lower right corner is the rooms where you're sleeping. Go ahead and Mhutvak and Glock, go ahead and place yourselves wherever in either of those two rooms that you think you would be sleeping, down at 7. All right, so when you wake up, you're in this room full of peasants. Your friends are sleeping nearby. Being a dwarf, you can guess that it's pretty close on to dawn at this point. So probably people are going to start stirring pretty soon.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the troops have been restive. Their morale is low, having just lost their commander. And a lot of them are starting to turn kind of paranoid. Let's start with Mhutvak. What are you going to be spending your day doing?
I think kind of going to get an assessment of the environment. Going to kind of walk around, keep my ears open, keep my eyes open. Take note of anything that I see that could be strange, maybe different, maybe unexpected. Make sure that the party members that I traveled here with, if I feel like they need to know something, I'm going to, have that information at hand. So I'll just kind of be an observer today and be just a presence.
Okay. All right. You do notice something unusual pretty much right off the bat. Over in Area 5 of this lower cavern. No, not 5. 3, I think. Let me take a look at my notes. Yeah, it's 3. So up here. This is where there's a lot of like broken furniture and cloth goods that have been torn, need to be patched and everything. This is the stuff that people are going to be working on throughout the winter. And you find the cook down here for some reason, and he's making stacks of stuff. He's got cloth draped over. It looks like he's making like a tent or something. It seems like very peculiar behavior, even for a human.
Okay. He's
kind of humming to himself as he does it.
Okay. Could I roll perception before questioning him, or would it be appropriate just to talk with him?
Sure. You can observe him for a little bit. Roll a perception. A 98. All right. So my result is near success. You gain some of the information required. That you're aware that there's something more going on that you haven't really noticed. You can sit back and watch him for another half a minute and make another try. What you've picked up so far is that what he's doing, it seems like there's a purpose to what he's doing. It doesn't look like he's building anything necessarily, but he's definitely got an idea of where he thinks things should go. So do you want to just keep watching, or do you want to...
I'll pause for a moment and...
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to watch for a minute and just kind of see if I can assess a little more before approaching him.
Make another roll then. This time give it a +10.
All right. Not any better.
All right. I'm going to throw you a little bit of a bone because of your background as a ranger. If this were in another location, if he were doing this outdoors, you would almost think that he was building a bonfire. It seems like an odd thing to do here inside this cave, though.
Yeah. So I'm going to cautiously approach him. Hi, my friend. How is the day today?
The day is fine. Fine. How are you, sir?
Oh, doing fine. Felt like I slept pretty good. Just kind of walking around, checking to see if I can be of a help to anyone. Is there anything I can give you a hand with? Do you need me to fetch anything? Do you need some lifting support? Do you need some help today?
Help? Well, actually, there was something. Some of that wheat that you fellows brought in, I thought I would make some bread later in the day. Could you just bring 2 sacks of that wheat in here for me? I can get them upstairs just fine. Yes. 2 sacks of wheat. That would be wonderful.
Bring them here to you?
And you know that yes, right in here.
I can do that.
And you know that the wheat's nearby. It's just in another cave pretty close to you. Okay. All right. So you bring him 2 sacks of wheat.
Okay.
All right. As the day goes by, you occasionally take a little jaunt up to the 3rd level to look out the arrow loops. And you can see that the the hillmen are starting to pull down the palisade. And there's some kind of activity going on over at Ynarri's Rest, but you can't quite see what it might be. There's some smoke, and you see some what look like some of the peasants milling around outside the fence there, carrying stuff. Looks like mostly lumber.
So local peasants, as in people who have been enslaved?
Yes.
Okay.
And the Dunmen and the Hillmen have pretty well encircled the place, and they're settling in for their siege. Oswy has no intention of charging them again because that was a really bad idea the first time.
Yep, he has returned though.
Well, yeah, he's taking command of the garrison, trying to get everybody reorganized. Morale is a little low since Marindil was killed.
No.
But the officers seem to be actually in a little bit more confident now because Marindil had been. You hear some rumblings that Marindil hadn't been doing his job very well, and they've got higher expectations of Oswy, even though he's not as highborn, and he's really not a very inspiring individual. But at least he's workmanlike. He knows what he's doing. Aragost, what have you been doing with your day?
Probably trying to keep up with Oswy.
All right.
I know this isn't something he wanted. Even though maybe one day he did want the position, this is definitely not how he wanted it. And probably trying to find ways to make the men see him in a better light. Even though they might like him, still try to find ways to get him more respect. I have a few ideas, but...
All right. So you're upstairs on level 2. Room 21 up here is the dining and conference room. Most of the room is occupied by a big table, and there's a very nice map of the region up on the wall. And Oswy we'll say he's got some troop rosters on the table that he's going through, and he's making notes about wounded men and the strength and duty rosters. And he looks up when you come and he says, "Oh, Aragost, what can I do for you?"
Just coming to find out how I can give a hand.
Oh, well, I'm not sure exactly what I might need you to do other than swinging a sword. You have some experience in the leading of men, though?
Not with any of the ones here.
Well, no, obviously they've all been among the Besieged for some time. I'm a little concerned about what's going on down there at the Rest. There's some kind of activity going on down there, but we haven't been able to determine what it is. I was curious if you and maybe one of your friends might take a small party out there to see if you can spy out what they're doing there.
Of course we can. Point at the map a little bit. Do you have a suggestion of perhaps how we should get down there? The woods are definitely not safe.
I do, actually. He looks out the door and then closes it and comes back to stand close to you and says, now I want you to keep this to yourself. This is privileged information. But there actually is a tunnel that leads out from the lower chambers all the way out to the smokehouse at the inn. That's actually how Ynarri got back here to let us know that we should let you in. So you could take that tunnel, emerge in the smokehouse, and if you're very, very careful, you might be able to spy on what they're doing there without being seen, and then come back here.
Of course.
Now, I'll warn you, there is a trap in the tunnel, and I need to look that up so that I can tell you what the trap is.
Appreciate it.
When you come up the ladder into the smokehouse, you want to avoid the top 2 rungs. If they get more than 5 pounds of weight placed on them, then the tunnel will be flooded, and it'll take several hours before it will empty out again. You definitely don't want to get trapped down there when the water's coming in.
But does sound like a good way to aid in an escape if needed.
Assuming that the other end of it is not guarded. It does come up within the walls of Ynarri's Rest or Ynarri's Drift. And if there's some kind of staging going on there, well then escape would be cut to pieces coming up out of the tunnel. So we need to make certain that way is clear and find out what they're doing there.
Yes.
All
I
right.
will go and locate my friends, and we shall head out as soon as possible.
Many thanks, Aragost.
If you think of anything else, do not hesitate to ask.
Of course. Mhenuk, you may complete your blacksmithing on those leg greaves.
Oh, yeah.
You get a plus 20 bonus to your roll this time.
Where's my blacksmithing? There we are. Add 20. Let's see. All right.
93. All right, so that is the near success result again. So once again, you feel like you're kind of butting your head against a wall, but you've almost got it. If you spend the rest of the day on it, you can make yet another attempt at plus 20, or you can go ahead and settle for the -5, canceling out your +5, and have ordinary greaves.
I want to press on, but I also want to talk to that cook.
Well, you can take a break and go get a snack or something.
Yeah, I'd
to
like
the
to do
kitchen?
that. I'd head to the kitchen.
All right, you come up out of the stairwell, and he's up there, and he's like hunched down by the fire, and he's got this like dish of flour there, and he's blowing puffs of it into the fire so that it makes this whoosh and burns up, and it sends like a little fireball into the barracks on the other side of the hearth.
Yep.
Eventually one of them says, "Would you cut that out?" And he kind of giggles a little bit.
I want to get up right close behind him before speaking.
Are you trying to sneak, or?
If I need to try, I will, and see how it goes. Shall I?
Yeah, give it a try.
All right. Stalk? That's stalk, right? Not ambush.
Yep.
No modifier?
No modifier.
Oh, well, that's stalk. I saw hiding first. I don't know which one you want to use.
Yeah, that's a weird roll because for some reason it rolls both of them, even though there's no difference in the way it works, except that the stalking one doesn't actually use the modifier, like the modifier window that pops up. So yeah, we'll go ahead and use that stalking roll.
Interesting.
I'll call this a light maneuver because he's distracted. So yeah, you managed to get right up behind him without him hearing you coming.
Excellent. I want to say, an interesting time to be wasting flour, friend cook.
Oh, he startles and he turns around and says, did you need something?
Oh, nothing in particular. I did want to ask you about, well, now that we're stuck in here, how much more food you think we have, what you might know about the woods, why there are so many people outside our walls, and also, under my breath, the ring that we gave to your recently deceased leader.
That was a lot of things to ask about. Supplies we're fine. We've got plenty enough for the winter, thanks to the grain that you fellows brought in. Do you mind if I ask what happened to your eyebrows?
What eyebrows?
That's my point.
And I just maintain eye contact.
Yes. Well, the woods, though, they're that place of dark omens. You don't want to go into those woods. Terrible things happen there. Not least of which is the trolls. But there's bogies in there. There's wolves. There's trolls, ghosts, and goblins, and all kinds of things in there. Those that go in seldom come back out.
I can believe it.
And what was the other thing that you asked?
We brought a ring.
Ring.
I can't help but notice that you seem to pay it some extra attention when we gave it to
No,
No?
I don't know anything about rings.
Oh, well.
Make a perception roll, please.
Not our day for seeing things, Aragost.
I never see anything. At least you're getting lots of stuff put in for your maneuvers experience.
That is true. I'll take
That's
it.
3 now.
You don't think that you're going to get anything more out of him.
Yep. All right. My mistake. Well, stay safe.
Uh-huh. So then back to your blacksmithing.
Sure.
All right. Glock,
Mm-hmm.
how are you spending your day today?
I'm just gonna chill out. Is there a library of any sort here?
Let's see. There's not really a library, but let me see if Eanfled and Oswy have any books. Nothing immediately. If you wanted to, you could go and try and find Eanfled and ask her if she has anything to read.
Yeah, we'll do that.
All right. I don't know that you have seen her yet. So I'll go ahead and pop her onto your screen, I hope. All right, so as is usual with Dunedain, she is unreasonably tall, but she seems friendly enough. You find her in her sitting room. She's doing a little bit of sewing. She says, "Oh, Master Glock, was it? What can I do for you?"
Oh yeah, I was just curious if you had any books or something like that. Always curious about new cultures.
Oh, well, yes, I do have a couple. Just a moment. She gets into a little cabinet and she says, "Now, please be very careful with this one. This is very precious to me." And she hands you a leather-bound tome. She says, "This is the herbal that I learned with when I was in Tharbad. It's got information about various plants and herbs that you can find here throughout Eregion, and a few notes on preparation of potions. I found it very interesting and very illuminating."
Okay, yeah, it seems good. I'll give it a try.
You're welcome to sit here with me as you read. I'm always glad of some company.
Sure, I'll do that.
All right. You settle down into a chair and flip through the book a little bit. It's got some really nice illustrations of various plants. And while you're reading, you overhear some conversation from down the hall.
Ooh.
So you are down here in room 16, and a little ways away, just around the corner up here in 21, that is where Oswy, well, used to be Marindil's council chamber. It's now Oswy's. And he's having a conversation with an older soldier, guy by the name of Aldheim. And Aldheim reports to him and says, "Yes, my lord, what is it that you need?" And Oswy says, "Have you any idea where Marindil kept the silver, the payroll? I'm a little concerned. I haven't been able to figure out where he's got it hidden." And Aldhelm says, "No, I'm not sure that I do. I mean, is it really necessary to have it right now? It's not as if the men have anywhere to spend their coin." And then you hear the creak of the door as it closes and shuts. And then a few moments later, you hear some boots outside going down the steps.
Ooh.
All right, so back downstairs. Let's continue the blacksmithing. Give it another try.
Okie dokie.
The tunnels are starting to fill up with smoke. It's kind of becoming a little unpleasant down there.
Is this another plus 20?
Yes.
Okay. There we go.
There it is. Wow.
That's the roll I wanted.
When you succeed, you do it all the way. Okay, where did my medium maneuver 155? That's a success. So you now have +5 greaves. And since those are
Okay.
leg greaves, put that in the item bonus for your armor.
Yeah, because there's a leg grieve check, I think, as well, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, item bonus for defensive bonus, right?
Not for defensive bonus,
And you
for
said-
your moving maneuver and your plate or your chain or whatever it is that you're wearing now.
Okay, cool. 5, you said?
Yeah.
All right. Nice. And I guess I should add those. How much do they weigh?
I think I need to see if I can locate some leg grieves as well, because it feels like every single crit on me has been to the legs.
Let's see.
I guess
Equipment
I
and
can
price
find
table.
it.
Protective equipment. Metal leg greaves weigh 3 pounds.
Okay.
But they are considered worn, so they won't apply to your...
Yeah, I was just wondering, because I have a -5 moving maneuver, but that's just from the greaves, not from the weight. Okay.
Right. That's just because they're
That makes
restricting
sense.
your legs. But your
Yep.
your item
Alright.
bonus will counteract that, so...
Yep.
Wearing them will not actually slow you down.
Fair enough.
And go ahead and put in the notes that they're +5 for quality.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Mhutvak, you are in the barracks room, shooting the breeze with some of the troopers, and somebody comes in. We'll say it's nobody in particular. We'll call him Varner, and
Okay.
Varner settles down at the table and says, I just overheard something a little troubling. It seems that there's no silver. There's no payroll. I don't know if they're planning on telling us about that, or if we're getting paid or not. I don't know. I'm concerned about it. Maybe it's been stolen. Maybe there never was any silver. What do you think?
Being fairly new to the area, I from what I know, I wouldn't think that it would be stolen or lost. Maybe it was put away for safekeeping. I mean, were there any concerns about some of the folk or the men or the soldiers maybe being a little, shall we say, shystery, and that we had to hide it?
Give me an influence roll, please. That'll be somewhere down near the bottom of the skill list, I believe.
Okay. Yes, leadership and influence. Looks like I have a -5 by it, though.
All the better.
Okay. So I do the minus sign, correct?
No, it'll calculate that -5 from your skill automatically. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
Oh, awesome.
Great.
All right. So Varner gives you a very suspicious look. He says, you're awfully quick to offer an explanation, dwarf. Now, I know your folk.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, well, I've had truck with dwarves before, you greedy, earth-grubbing sorts. You're always looking for the silver and gold. I think that it's not much of a coincidence that the treasury goes missing as soon as a bunch of dwarves show up.
And I think you got something stuck in your craw. Do you, boy?
Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Do you want to make something of it, Shorty?
I haven't had my morning coffee or tea or brew. So at this point, I say we part ways, even it be unamicably, and maybe we'll address this at another point. But I think you may be rethinking your position.
Oh, maybe we will take it up later. Maybe we will. He pushes away from the table and stomps out.
And I'm watching him.
A couple of the other soldiers are kind of giving you the side eye at this point, too.
And I just kind of look at them and kind of scoff.
They very pointedly turn back to their own conversations, and you feel the cold shoulder very definitely in this room. You suddenly feel quite unwelcome.
Being a part of the earth, I'm used to the cold.
So then the lunch hour comes around, and in spite of the cook saying that he wanted to bake some bread, you haven't really smelled anything of bread baking. Lunch is a good hearty meat stew with some potatoes. Very filling and very satisfying, but there is a distinct lack of bread for some reason. Glock and Mhutvak, you are both feeling a little ostracized by the Volsegi here. You try to set your plates down at a table, and everybody just kind of glares at you.
Well, that's hurtful.
And I'm glaring back.
Nothing comes of it at lunch.
All right, so Aragost, you come down the spiral staircase down here into the upper cellars, and most of these rooms are just storage. They're mostly foodstuffs. But then over here in Area 9 is the smithy, where you find Mhenuk looking pleased over having finally got these leg greaves fitting the way he wants them to.
Ah, Mhenuk, looking better there.
Indeed. Your friend has a great way of mending flesh. However, I'm not sure how much it'll help us break through this siege.
Ah, speaking of that, I was just with Oswe. There is a way we may be able to help.
How's that?
There's a tunnel that will lead us back to the inn, out of sight of all those out there.
Ah, that tunnel.
I figured the dwarf would like a tunnel. Travel underground instead of above it.
I think Bofin may have appreciated it more. Ironic. A tunnel dug by men. But, as you may guess, I would leave this place. What would we be doing on the other side of the tunnel? It seems like there's still work happening at the inn.
As what will we be checking in on?
Ah, very good. Well then, I suppose we may as well go, if your leg is well enough for walking now. Mine feels good as new.
By this time, it's probably just about twilight. Do you want to go immediately or wait for full dark?
Waiting for dark seems like a good play to me.
Well, we can leave and then just wait to pop out.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, though. We can also wait in the tunnel.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Spend some time at the end seeing how much we actually hear around it before we come out to make sure it is as quiet as possible. It's that tunnel.
Yep, it's that tunnel.
Secret tunnel.
So Oswe has explained to you how to get to it and open it up. However, he also asked you to keep it a secret. And there are all of these peasants wandering around down there.
That sounds like a good job for Glock and Mhutvak. Go over there in that corner and tell them all a story.
Go distract them, newly minted NPCs.
Glock will entertain them with his trained rodent thing. You travel down this tunnel. It's pretty long to get back to Ynarri's Drift. And Mhenuk, being a dwarf, you can pretty easily judge the time of day even when you're underground. Mm-hmm. So you wait until...
And while we make our way down the tunnel and wait for night to actually arrive, I make sure to mention the trap. But I make sure to give the good warnings of the trap.
And then I was checking my infravision because I didn't remember, and indeed it wasn't specified in the table. But does that work through walls and things? Or is it only through darkness, but still line of sight?
It depends on the wall and the heat source.
Okay.
I mean, you're seeing heat.
Fair enough.
And you've also got with you some Volsegi.
They were so helpful last time.
Oh, we're over in 16. Nice.
Super helpful last time. I'm guessing these are men that Oswe trusted very well, as nobody's supposed to know about this tunnel.
Yeah. So you come up out of a little trap door that's hidden in the smokehouse. And I'm going to need each of you to make a stalking roll.
Any modifiers?
No, they're not aware of you, so I won't impose any penalties or give you any bonuses.
All right, and this is stock this time.
Where is...
Cool. As
So
far as perceiving
99
goes, it's been a long time since I read or saw Lord of the Rings. But do I remember that dwarves can smell orcs?
That does not sound familiar.
Okay. I'm just remembering things.
At least no more easily than humans can smell orcs just because they're smelly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's like, I'm pretty sure anybody can smell an orc at a good distance.
once you're close enough, certainly.
All right, so Mhenuk, you're kind of lagging behind. You're having a hard time because you're short, reaching all the way up and getting across those last two rungs of the ladder without touching them, and still being quiet. So Aragost gets all the way out here and is looking around the corner, but you're still actually down in the tunnel.
Okay.
And everybody else is already up. So if anything happens, you're going to be the last one to be able to do anything. But that's kind of typical for you. So.
Yep. On second thought, maybe this whole carrying a shield while climbing a ladder thing was not well thought out.
Glock, you've gone back up to read some more of that book and chat with the Anfled. And you hear outside, we'll say, Mhutvak, you're up there too, because you got a little bit of knowledge of herb lore that you can lend to the conversation. And you hear the tromp of boots coming up the stairs. It sounds like there's...
So we're in 16?
Yes, 16.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and you're hearing sounds from this corridor outside. Sounds like at least 7 or 8 men tromping down the hall in boots, and there's grumbling and muttering among them.
Ooh.
I look over at Glock and I make sure that he sees my eyes, and I give him a little head nod, hoping that he'll pick up on be aware.
Okay, I acknowledge it.
Are either of you going to peek out into the hall, or?
Oh, I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm not sure it's the appropriate thing right now.
All right.
So yeah, let me do this. Glock.
Mm-hmm.
Might I have a moment of your time, sir?
Yes, definitely. Certainly.
Milady, would you excuse us? We would step into the hall, and I want to catch him up on yesterday's business.
Okay. So you step out into the hall, and as you do so, you see that there are several of the Volsegi tromping down the hall to where Aldheim and Oswe are consulting with one another. The door is still closed, and you're starting to talk a little bit and exchange notes, and one of them starts pounding on the door and says, Amradan, we know that you're stealing from us. We know that the silver is gone. We want our pay.
Ooh, okay, that's a predicament.
And I look to Glock, put my hand against his arm there, and say somewhat quietly, my friend, I was accused of being part of this parlay of missing pay. So we need to be wary and watch our backside.
Okay. I start readying sleep just in case.
All right.
What I'd like to do at this point, Bryan, is just move a little bit more to where I can see a little more of the hallway.
Okay. All right. So yeah, you can see pretty clearly all the way down the hall, and everybody's attention is on that closed door. In that room 18, just to their right, is where Aragost sleeps. You're not sure where he's gotten off to today.
Maybe he's doing some scouting or something, or maybe he's back there in the room with Oswy and Aldhelm. Sometimes he consults with them. But everybody's pretty well focused on that door. And you hear Oswy's voice from behind saying, "Now you men disperse. There's no trouble with the payroll. You'll all be paid when at the proper time. Go on now." That doesn't seem to satisfy them at all, and they just pound harder on the door. And let's see. Let's say this guy up at the front is Varger. And he turns to the guy next to him and says, "Get some timber." But when he does, he spots you skulking. And his eyes narrow and he says, "And bring me that dwarf."
Wait, which dwarf? Me or Glock?
Those are both you.
Me or Glock?
Do I hear him? Do I hear him say that to the guy?
Yeah, you hear him pretty clearly. He's looking at Mhutvak because you're around the corner and he can't see you, Glock.
Aye, Varg. You not be brought any dwarf. If I need to come to you, I'll come on my own decision.
All right, then, Beardy. Come. Let's see what you're made of.
Let me ask you one question. Why should I?
He jerks his chin at the guy that he was talking to, and this fellow starts coming toward you. He's not armed. Well, he's got his axe at his hip, but he's not got it out or anything. But he's coming toward you, definitely in an aggressive posture.
Okay.
So when he reaches you, he reaches out for your shoulder. He's going to grab you by the jerkin and pull you toward Varger. What are you going to do?
Oh, I'm going to hit him either just above the belt or just below the belt.
Oh.
All right.
I want to buckle this guy if I can.
And now we run into one of the big downfalls of this system, in that it does not have a brawl skill.
What?
Okay. Could we still use like one hand concussion?
Well, let me take a look at what we got here.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm kind of looking over going, I'm not sure how we...
Let's just make it... there's an open-ended button on the first page.
Okay.
So use that one and
open-ended, yep.
Yep, and add your either your strength or constitution bonus, whichever one is higher.
All right. And when I'm looking at my stats, which column is my bonus column?
Total.
Got you. Okay. All right. So let's say... So which one? Did you say strength or what?
Strength or constitution, whichever you like.
Okay. All
right. 89. See, he's not wearing his armor right now, so 12 hits and an A. So go ahead and give me another 1d100.
Okay.
All right. He sees the blow coming, and he turns to take it on his left shoulder. Of course, him being so much taller than you, he really takes it on his left elbow. And you manage to get him right in the funny bone. And he's just like, ah! And he pulls away, shaking his left hand. And the other Volsegi kind of laugh at him.
Now, I'd be telling you, you don't put your hands on us. If you need us to do something, you might ask nicely. Otherwise, we'll be taking our leave. And I look back at Glock and wink.
I wink back, and I'm just like, whoa.
Varger snarls, says, "Well, be off with you then. Maybe the Dunman will have a use for you."
Yeah, and the same to you.
So at this... There you go, Glock. So at this point, Bryan, remind me, and I know we have a little bit of a lag here, from where we are in this hallway, are we heading to the staircase near 14 to get out of this building and get to where Glock and I can kind of have some space?
If you want to go downstairs, then yeah, those stairs are 14. Or you could go and climb the ladder up to 20 if you wanted to ascend to the next level.
I look over at Glock and I'd say, head to the outside there, buddy.
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right, so you going down?
Yeah, we're going to go down and work our way towards outside.
Okay. All right, so Aragost, you creep up and just look out the door as quietly as you can. And almost immediately you see that there's an orc in the yard. Kind of close at hand, there's a covered wagon of some kind with a ram's head coming out of the middle of it. So they've got a covered battering ram. You can't quite see anything beyond that, but you hear a lot of activity. There's some what you presume to be orc voices shouting at somebody. And this guy is gathering some stuff from these boxes that he's standing near. So he's not quite looking in your direction. He's looking kind of that away.
If only we had a thief with us.
You do have a thief with you.
I'm just wearing too much armor.
A quiet thief. I'll excuse myself now. Okay.
That's approximately what you can see. Oh, and this area just to your left is broken down, and that's where they rammed through the night that you were attacked.
Yeah. How tall are the boxes that are like here?
They come up to like a little less than chest height, a little higher than waist high.
So I can kind of sneak over to it.
You could, yes.
Very low sneaking.
That would require an additional stock roll. However, once you got there, you would be within striking distance of the guy, and if you wanted to, you could actually attack with your ambush bonus.
Nice. This sounds fantastic. I will sneaky over there.
All right.
Another stock hide. No modifiers again, right?
Correct.
Nice.
Okay. He is not aware of you, and he starts to actually turn away. He's got a double arm load of some like small wood pieces.
Nice. So
And,
that's striking distance with my ambush bonus.
These other three have moved up behind you.
What type of armor is Mr. Orc wearing?
They are wearing chain. All right, so are you making an attack then?
Yep. Okay, my ambush says it's 5, so I'm guessing that means adding 5.
Yes, and
Plus
his
whatever.
defensive bonus is 10. So it'll be a
Negative
accumulation of -5. And then, Jacob, can you tell him what he's attacking from behind, and his opponent is not aware of him?
From behind and defender surprise is +40 total.
Okay, so grand total of +35.
Nice.
Yeah, and then you can also adjust by 5 afterwards, right?
That's for the critical roll.
Yeah. I didn't realize that the ambush was double functional. That's very good.
And I think that's not supposed to be added to the attack roll. So make it just +30.
Okay.
Nice. 152.
That'll be max result.
Yeah, it is. Versus chain.
And 97 on the crit.
Yeah, 18 hits and...
Now, the critical, though, because you've got the ambush going on, you can adjust it by up to 5 in any direction.
Okay, I think it must be easier if I look at this chart, too.
Yeah.
Combat tables.
Yeah. Generally speaking, you want your critical result to end in a 0.
Yep. And from 117, you can get to 120. Which is...
What does 120 do?
Strike to the head and you destroy the brain. Life is hard for the unfortunate fool expires in a heap immediately.
Wow. So I just bring it straight down and through.
Yeah. Or you could cut his hand off or sever his spine. Choices.
I think immediate death is exactly what I'm going to go for. Okay. That was a what level crit? That was what type of crit?
E.
Yes.
What level was he?
Critical against a level 3.
And then is there a secondary critical on your sword?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it matters.
You don't need it, but I mean, it's more experience for you.
It does anything at this point. Like, oh, you sliced through his head. Oh, look, you also severed his leg. You also severed an artery in his leg.
It's like one of those anime attacks where your sword is just like splitting into 6 things, and it's
Yeah. It's very Dwarf Fortress-esque, I just realized, where you can be like grappling one part of somebody's body and then bite the total other side of their body, just regardless of size.
I think this is also a good time to possibly do away with the body. So perhaps kind of turn back towards the other guys and try to drag his body into the smokehouse to hide
Okay.
him.
So Orc is now in the smokehouse. Mhenuk, you're up the ladder by now. So
Yeah, I climb up as they're dragging an orc back in.
one of the other guys goes back and grabs the top of the guy's head and brings that in too.
Need a cup?
Gross.
You set it up.
All right. So then creeping up behind this this battering ram, you can see a little bit more of the yard here.
Oh,
And it looks like they're building siege equipment. They've got a couple of catapults, some tables, and a lot of lumber. There's a ballista back there. And from the looks of things, these orcs are forcing the peasants to do the heavy work, holding things in place and hammering and stuff, while the orcs themselves are doing the finer detail work, the cutting and
the
assembling of mechanisms.
and the looking through boxes alone.
Right.
What was in the boxes?
Checking the
I'll check
boxes, you
those
see
out.
that they've got a lot of like the milled components, wooden components for the catapults that needed to be prepared ahead of time.
Okay.
Some coils of rope for spring works.
What do you think of... Does anybody here have anything that could start a flame?
They're not.
Well, if only your 2 spellcasters were here.
Yeah.
Do they have fire, though, or can they just boil the water?
Mhutvak has a spell that can kindle fires,
Nice.
I think. And I'm pretty sure that among the many spells that Glock has, that he can set fires also. One of the Volsegi, though, pulls out some flint and steel and shows it to you and says, I can start something alight, but it might take a little bit for it to catch.
How willing do they look, the non-orc people?
It's hard for you to tell because you don't see in the dark, and they're kind of lit by flickery torchlight. Your dwarf friend here, though, can see pretty easily that they've got the expressions on their face, or they're not happy.
So if they were singing, it would be something along the lines, if there's a whip, there's a way.
Exactly. Get some good old Rankin Bass in here.
Yep.
Oh, and you can see that Mhenuk can see that there's some injuries on them. It looks like they have been whipped.
How often do orcs lay siege to these towers, Aragost?
I'm not sure if I've ever seen any of the orcs try it, especially this well-equipped.
Let's see. How old are you?
80.
All right, so the last time you would have seen orcs organized in a military campaign would have been about 50 years ago, when Angmar marched against Arnor, or the former Arnorian kingdoms, and was stopped at the battle at Weathertop.
It's been quite a while. Not quite a lifetime yet.
Let's get back to Glock and Mhutvak. Well, then you come back down into the kitchen, which is where those stairs empty out onto, and the undercook is here cleaning up after the afternoon meal, but you don't see the head cook anywhere. Through the fireplace, the fireplace here at 9 actually looks all the way through into the barracks. You see that there are several men in there sleeping, a couple more at the table playing cards. And then if you wanted to actually leave the place, you would have to go out through the portcullis and the gate, all of which are currently closed. You'd have to have somebody open them for you. And given that the place is under siege, they may not be inclined to do so.
Okay. So, and that's fine. 6 and 7, what types of rooms are they again, please?
6 is the armory. 7
Mm-hmm.
I know 7 has the mechanism for raising and lowering the portcullis. So yeah, it's got some cots in there, and then the mechanisms for the portcullis, I believe.
Ooh.
Where's 3?
So I look to Glock and I'd say, would you mind us stepping over here where we can talk amongst ourselves, brother?
Oh, certainly. And I step over there.
So I'd like, since we're down there, I'd like to head just inside 7.
Okay. Now, it is a guard room, and there are 2 of the Volsegi in there, but they're not staring daggers at you like the others were.
Okay.
We just do this for the pay.
Probably, if you wanted to find some place that's actually private, if you went down another level, there's nobody currently in the cells, so you could probably have a conversation in the dungeon without being overheard.
Yeah, probably not, because if they came down, then we wouldn't have a way to get out. So let's. I tell you what, if you're okay, Bryan, let's Glock and I, let's head up towards the kind of the northeast side of 8, over there where that door is, and just be against that wall right there.
All right. So
we'll just
if you stand outside the doors, just kind of in the corridor, you think that you can have a relatively private conversation?
Yeah, not 100%, but enough that low voices, even in our native tongue, if we had to.
All right. So what you talking about?
So Glock, I gather from our earlier hospitable exchange, you might be curious what's going on.
Just a little.
So I clue you in, brother. I'm sitting at the table with one of the older gentlemen, soldier kind of guys, and he asked me a question about the coin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm merely trying to be sociable. I'm merely trying to be conversational. And I throw an idea. He says, "Do you think it's been stolen?" I say, "I don't think it's been stolen. I don't think it's been lost. Maybe there's some concerns. Maybe they put it away." And wouldn't you know it, he looks at me as if our kin is the one that's the greedy kind and has words for me. And I just look at him and say, "I don't think you know what you're talking about." He wants to make something of it. I said, "Maybe we'll wheel it another time." And so we part ways. I'm watching this guy, and he's gruffing off into the corner and heading out the room. I'm telling you, I think our allies are less and less and less in this place. We need to be watching our backs.
This is a little concerning. Okay, so what are we... You're just saying we should watch our backs?
Yeah, I mean, other than trying to get a meeting with Oswey or talking to Our Lady, I don't know who else we could approach. I feel like we're on our own. I mean, once we find Aragost, for sure we could talk to him, but I'm not sure if he's out on a run or he's doing some hunting or what. I haven't seen him. I'm thinking we need some type of humankind authority that we could at least parlay with. What's your thoughts?
Okay, that sounds like a solid plan.
Let's return to Aragost and Mhenuk.
What's your range with that bow?
Base range of a bow is 60.
Okay, good.
What are you looking to shoot?
Well, it doesn't sound like we want to go for the humans as much as
the slaves?
Yes.
No.
But there are a few orcs that may be within distance for that. I'm also checking line of sight.
Assume that you can shoot over the catapults with no trouble, and the battering ram offers cover.
Perhaps with your dwarven eyes, you would probably hit one better than I.
Maybe. I can give it a shot. Bows
That's
are
what
more
I'm asking for.
of a weapon of your people, although, based on our experiences so far, maybe not so. Not such a great weapon. But yeah, I'll step out to the north of the battering ram. If I
Okay.
select the right tool again. And take a shot at that orc to the west.
The Volsegi are going to back you up. So as soon as you shoot, they're also going to shoot.
Okay.
To the west. So you're shooting at this fellow here?
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
All right. Let's see. Since you're doing the ambushing, I will let you shoot first.
Okay.
And you're the only one who gets to shoot at, full offensive bonus because you can see in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I don't have the bow as a button, so I think that's just... There's nothing special about it, right? Or it's +5 for quality.
It's +5, yeah.
And I think I've put that in missile. I have. So I guess I should roll it. Not the best with a bow. Do I have any modifier?
His defensive bonus is 10.
Okay.
Check the chart to see if there are any modifiers for him being unaware of the attack.
Of course. Yeah, surprise is +20, and if I'm hitting his back, then it's another +20. But otherwise, just the 20.
No, you're not shooting at his back. He's actually facing a little bit toward you.
So a total of 10 then, right?
Sounds like it.
-10 +20. Let's see.
Yeah.
Whew. Unmodified 8.
Oh.
So
Ow.
that's not a fumble, but I do miss.
So then as soon as your bow goes, this guy is going to shoot at the guy up there to the north. So crossbow, but that's when he canceled out by the fact that it's dark. So it's actually just, that's +10 still.
Nice. 106. And that's versus, is that with the +20?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, we canceled out there. Also versus chain, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's 13 hits and a B critical. Strike to the lower leg, tendons torn, 3 hits, -25 activity, stunned for 1 round.
Okay. This would be better if I didn't have to keep track of the damage I was doing myself. All right, so Lancer, same story. Crossbow +10.
If only they got experience. And Volseki, good news. You got a crit on a level 3 enemy. Yay, it is worth experience.
Yeah, so that's 20 hits and a D critical, which is probably not going to be much.
16, 26. Yeah, probably not.
Thigh strike, 3 hits. If no leg armor, 3 hits per round.
I don't know if these guys have leg armor. Let me look them up. Orc. Greaves? No. So what was the result for having no armor?
3 hits per round, on top of the 3 hits and the 20 from the base.
Okay. And then finally, this guy is a marksman.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh, I
think you need to take some training.
This is making up for last week when they were hitting nothing at all.
Yep. And they had such easy targets last week, too. Giant wolves and a troll. It's not like they're trying to hit a womp rat. How many weird references can I make in one night?
Sorry, 1 minute.
That's fine. I'll tell a stupid joke in the meantime. What's the inside temperature of a tauntaun?
Lukewarm?
I haven't heard this
exactly.
one before.
Lukewarm.
Very nice. That is pretty bad. 22 hits and a D critical, and that's an actually high crit. Strike to the side of head, knocked out for 6 hours, 10 hits. If no helm, dies instantly. So yeah, we did bring along the sniper squad. Where were these guys when I was getting ripped up by a wolf right below a tower? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. I guess they're better at shooting level instead of down from the tower.
Yeah, true.
I can't see any of this, so I can't make a stupid comment about it in character.
All right. So a flurry of arrows flies out, kills one of the orcs immediately. The other one gets hit and shouts in pain. The peasants all panic and start to run.
Very good.
Good. Get them out of the way. That's what we wanted.
Mhenuk, you're still slowest. So what is your move this turn?
So the one to the west died.
Yep.
I think I want to move. How does moving and hiding work?
Since you're in the dark, let's see, how far was that? 14 feet, something like that?
I think it was like, let's see. Yeah, over there? Yeah, like 14 feet.
Yeah. So you'd make your hide roll with a -10.
Okay. Yeah, I'd probably give that a shot. Go over to the corner of the building,
Okay.
kind of between it and the wood.
So then the NPCs are next. The orc is going to run to this box up here and grab a weapon from it.
He's running to which box? That box? Okay.
That one.
Good. He's going to make that easier for me. You don't have to go as far.
And the Volsegi next to Mhenuk is going to run around the backside of the chicken coop. And the Lancer and the Volsegi down to the south are going to run up and try and get these peasants over by the catapults to leave by the gap in the wall. Aragost, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I was going to go meet the orc up here as well.
Okay. So then first things first is spellcasting. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's shooting bows. Nobody's in melee yet, so it's moving time. Aragost, you go first.
Shoop-doop. Come to me. You will make this easier for me.
And then NPCs move. And they're all switching to their swords instead of their bows.
Yeah. The orc can
These
pick up
guys
the
are
weapon all
coming
he
over
wants.
here.
I don't think he's going to do very well with it.
These guys get a little bit distant before they see them coming. And now Mhenuk, you make your move
Okay.
and roll for your hiding.
Roll hide -10, right?
Yep.
And you said, was hide the one that doesn't take the modifier? Oh my goodness.
Stalk is the one that doesn't take the modifier,
Stalk
so
doesn't take the
hide will work
modifier.
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Success.
All right.
So you are hiding at the edge of the chicken coop. Next turn, Mhenuk, what are you going to do?
I'm going to hold... well, let me check the map real quick. Aragost ran around the back. I think I'm going to throw my bola at him.
Okay.
That's my plan.
You're going to make this really easy for me to hit him, aren't you?
I'm going to try. I'm sure this will go way, way better than my other missile attacks. Also, you get to attack first, so I'll be mopping up your success, if anything.
Well, no, because missile goes before melee.
Oh, missile's just before melee. Yeah, okay. Yeah, then I'll definitely throw the bola.
So you're going to hit him with the bola, tie him up, and he's going to be tied up when I hit him with a sword.
We'll hope so.
So he's going to attempt to parry Aragost, since he's not aware of Mhenuk. The Volsegi is going to... He'll probably... How far does he have to go? Yeah, he'll be able to get in there and attack with just a -10. So he's going to attack. These other two guys, now that they've got their swords out and they're telling the Wiali to run away, are going to head more toward the middle of the field and try to intercept anybody else that's coming in. Oh, actually, no. One of them's got his flint and steel out. He's going to try and be setting the catapults on fire. So that's what they're going to try and do. The Wiali are going to run toward the gap in the wall, and you hear a shout from off in the darkness where you can't see. Actually, how far? Mhenuk, you can see that there are some light sources, or not light sources, heat sources.
Heat sources, yeah.
Over there near the barn.
Mm-hmm.
The shutters on the inn are now closed, so you can't see anything through those.
Okay. And when you say heat source, just a mass, no particular number?
It looks like there's probably at least two over there, but they're standing close together, so you can't distinguish them from each other.
Yep.
All right, so then Aragost, I assume you're going to smack the orc.
Yep. Got to make sure he's awake at least for 2 seconds.
Spellcasting, missile fire, Mhenuk.
Okay, yeah, so missile fire, I do have the token. Action, bola.
And it's still +10 cumulative.
+10? Yep, okay. Cool. And is that just a normal... Is that just a missile attack?
Yep.
Versus chain. 81. 4 hits.
Okay.
Oh, so a grapple critical. So that's how bolas work for disabling people. Nice. That's kind of cool.
All right. So one of the weights on the bola hits him in the neck, but it doesn't wrap around him or anything. Then melee. So Aragost, you're going first.
What is my modifier going to be for this? Because I know he said he was going to parry.
Right. What is his offensive bonus? His normal defensive bonus is 10. He's parrying with half of his offensive bonus. That's 28, so 38 total.
38.
Chat 106. Here's his chain. That is 13 hits, 106. 11 hits and an A critical.
Ooh.
And a 41 A critical is only blow to the upper leg, 5 hits, if no leg armor, 3 hits, and 2 hits per round.
All right. He is actually down now.
Good. Oh wait, that's another kill.
Well, he was stunned, and he'll bleed out by the
Nice.
time he'll
That's a 3.
be unstunned. So,
Nice.
all right, this guy arrives just in time to watch the orc go down, so he's disappointed. Now moving.
At least you're not kill stealing from the theoretical leader. I don't know.
Actually, he's going to come to just the edge of the light. So you got another one over there. The alley are escaping. Run away, run away. Whoops.
Be safe.
I'll answer. You see one of the shutters open in the inn.
Oh, he has a name.
Yes. But before Yarnock joins the fight, let's get back inside the Tirthon and find out what Mhutvak and Glock are up to.
Who you think we should approach first?
Let's see. What about the husband of that ranger lady? That's not Aragost, is it?
No, that's Oswy, and he is currently barricaded upstairs where all those guys are pounding on the door. And the Hallward, Aldhelm, is with him. You happen to have glimpsed in 8. Tonfall is the second sergeant. Actually, he's probably the first sergeant now since Oswy's been promoted. And then Wiglaf. Oh no, Wiglaf is the Hallward. Aldhelm is... Okay, Aldhelm is the first sergeant, so Tonfall is still second sergeant. Wiglaf is the Hallward. He's the one who's in charge of... pretty much in charge of the gate. And he is currently on duty in the armory. As far as what you know of these two guys, you haven't had anything... Wiglaf was the one who turned you away the first night, but he seems like a reasonable fellow for a soldier. Tonfall was the one that Aragost was suspicious of for his unhealthy interest in Eanfled. But other than that, he's a personable fellow, and everybody seems to like him.
Then I'm seeing going after him. Well, I assume, how do you say it? Mhutvak. I'm assuming he's with me, and we're kind of talking.
I'm right there. Yeah, I'm right there next to you.
Yeah, let's talk to the captain of the guard.
Okay, I'm with you.
So did you want to talk to the second sergeant or the Hallward?
Second sergeant is the personable guy, right?
Yes.
Okay, so him.
So he's just right around the corner from you. Easy to get to.
Okay.
I'll show you his picture here.
It's like he came right out of Shrek.
So you come around and you approach him. His eyebrows lift. He says, "Oh, the dwarves. What can I do you for?"
Do we seem understandably alone right now? Or do we think there's other people watching?
Well, there's several other soldiers in the room. There's several guys sleeping, and then these two in the corner are playing cards.
Oh, okay. I go, could you step away for a moment? And I just want to ask you a personal question.
He gets a quizzical look on his face. His personal question? Well, sure. Come on, step out into the hall. I guess it's as private as any place you're likely to find right now. So he comes out to the hallway with you. So, Mhutvak, I understand you had a bit of a hard time with some of the lads.
Aye.
don't take it too much to heart. It's tough times right now. Everybody's worried about this siege. We've been through them before, but this seems a little bit different. And to be honest, everyone seems a little bit more on edge than usual the last couple of days. Not sure what's going on.
I see your point, sir, but don't take too kindly to being accused of being a thief because someone thinks my race be too greedy. If you catch my drift.
Accused of thievery, are you? Oh, that's news to me. I'd heard that there was some grumbling, but I hadn't heard that anybody had actually accused you of stealing anything. What is it you're meant to have stolen?
Well, to my face, the older gentleman there, I'm sorry, forget his name, but we're sitting there cordially at the table, and he asked me a question of what I'm be thinking about the pay for everyone. And he says, hey, do you think that it's been stolen or lost? And so just in a bit of sociality, I say, well, I don't think that this crowd is that kind of crowd, that there's some thievery or lost. Maybe they suspected that it would need to be under more guard, and they moved it, hid it, and from there, the conversation went south.
So they think you've stolen the payroll? Well, where do they think you put it? In your boots? That's a lot of coin to be just carrying around in your pockets.
Aye.
About this point, two guys come around out of the kitchen. They give you kind of a dirty look as they go by. You can tell this is two of the fellows that were upstairs, and they go around the corner into the central corridor here, where the gates are. Tonfall looks over and says, "Well, now, what do you suppose that's about?"
And I look back at him and I say, "Sir, I can assure you, me and McKinn have nothing to do with anything nefarious. Something's afoot, and I'm a little concerned."
Well, you've been here all of 3 days. I doubt you even know where the money is, much less have the inclination to steal it.
Aye.
But I'm a little concerned myself right now. And you hear the sound of wood scraping on wood, a little clink of metal. And a few moments later, these guys come back out, and between the two of them, they are carrying the big crossbar that normally holds the inner gate closed.
Oh, no.
He says, "Olaf, what are you doing with that? That thing's supposed to be keeping the gate closed. I know we're not under attack right now, but you got no call to be taking it. And where are you taking it anyway?" One of the guys turns back and says, "We're getting our money. We know Oswey's got it in there. We're taking what's ours." And they're trotting down the hall with this timber in their arms. Oh, this would be so much easier if you had your Dunedain here to talk to these guys.
I know. I'm trying to kind of think about it, extra. So I look over at Glock, and I kind of elbow him a little bit, and I turn back towards Tonval, and I say, "Sir, we don't want to be a bother, but if you be needing our services, you just have to let us know."
I nod along with him.
I mean, I can roll, a persuasion or whatever if you need it, but I want this guy to know that we're really not trying to cause trouble.
Yeah, you get the sense that he believes you, and that there's something, he realizes there's something more going on. I'm just trying to decide, it's like,
Yeah.
because the most rational thing at this point would be for him to say, "You know what, you guys keep your heads down and keep out of this business." But
Yeah, that's what I was
that
thinking.
doesn't make for a very good role-playing game.
Well, I mean, I think we're we're down some guys, and yeah, I think we're doing what we can.
This was supposed to be another opportunity for Greg to attempt to make an influence roll successfully.
Well, I mean, we could shorten it up however we need to, and then get prepped for the next session or whatever.
I'm just trying to decide how I want to go about it.
Whatever you think, Brian. Yeah.
We've only got an hour left, so we don't really have enough time for the other encounter that I have set for this evening. But so I really kind of want this one to resolve. But what's the most rational way for this to work out?
Well,
Ooh, I could cast Friend on somebody.
That actually might not be the
Or-
worst idea. So Tonfall hollers over and into the armory and says, "Wiglaf, come on, we gotta go upstairs and figure out what's going on with these fellows."
we'll travel behind.
Right. So yeah, he gestures to you, says, "Yeah, you come on. I don't know that we're gonna need any muscle. I suspect if we do that, well, things are in dire straits. But who knows? Maybe you can offer some more words in your defense if it comes to that. I don't know how they can claim that Oswy has it in there if you've already stolen it, but we'll see what they have to say about them for themselves." And let's get back outside and find out how Aragost and Mhenuk are doing. All right. Next round. Mhenuk, what's your intention?
How's the guy who was trying to light stuff on fire doing?
The lumber is not catching very easily, so they're still working on it. It's not lighting yet.
In that case, I think I'll move. Yeah, I'll just move up towards Aragost and the others. How far do I get in a normal move? 30 feet, I think. Yeah.
That sounds right.
So I'll head up to like there.
Okay. The Lancer is going to come over here and grab some less heavy wood, try and find some tinder, stuff that'll burn more easily. Well, he's not moving yet, but that's what he's going to do. This guy that's up by Aragost is going to... He's going to move forward to this lumber up here and take cover against the bowfire. And then he's going to try and rush the orc next turn. Last Volsegi is going to continue trying to set the catapult on fire. Aragost, what's your plan?
Probably. I don't do well with rage. I haven't actually used a rage weapon yet. I just know how my skills are set up. I can use a missile. Actually, missile weapons aren't much worse. I'm not much worse with missile weapons than I am with anything else. So yeah, I have a composite bow. Actually, sounds like a fun idea.
Okay. Changing weapons and loading in the same turn, you'll be minus 20. If you want to wait until next turn, then you'd be able to fire your offensive bonus.
I will just prepare to fire and not fire this round because everybody's still decently far from me, and that'll give him a bit of a chance to catch up.
If you want to take cover behind that box of weapons, then
yeah,
you'll have half cover.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
All right. Missile weapons. Only the orc is shooting. Oh, he doesn't have a bow.
Ha! I have fired my... I missed.
You didn't say you didn't have arrows. Extreme darts!
So he's going to be... see, these guys are actually supposed to avoid combat. So he's going to retreat. So then nobody's shooting. Nobody's meleeing. Moving. Aragost goes first, but he's just taking cover.
Boop.
Weali are getting away.
Yay, they're getting away.
He's going over here to get lumber. Mhenuk's done his move, and this guy is over here by the lumber. This fellow's retreating, and somebody that you can't see is doing something.
All right.
And this guy disappears from the window. You can see, Mhenuk, that somebody has come out of the building, and there are a couple more bodies over by the barn than there were before.
Rather weak. These are rather weak for orcs, but it seems like there's more of them inside.
So
what do you think about getting back through the tunnels? We need to make sure we don't lead them to our secret entrance by mistake.
Luckily, the hole to get out is right by our secret entrance, so we can hopefully just sneak back out through the secret entrance, and we seem like we left through the hole over here where they're all going.
That is true. Is that cover behind that lumber where the Volsegi is?
Yes, it's a big enough stack that you could hide behind it.
Okay, yeah, I want to move up to there then. Not hiding this turn, just moving up there.
NPCs, see, this guy, this Lancer's got an armload of tinder. He's going to move it over to the catapult, and they're hopefully going to get that satellite soon. The Wiali have all pretty well run away, and that takes care of NPCs that you can see. So, Aragost, what are you going to do?
Sounds like we are wanting to start moving the way back. Not moving yet.
You may hold your action until you see somebody and then shoot.
Yeah, that's probably a good plan. Help give people some time to escape. So yeah, hold until I see somebody and then shoot at them as long as they are not human, unless they're human with a weapon. If they look threatening, shoot them. Otherwise, let them run away. That's a good way to do that.
So then you don't have anybody to shoot at immediately. Nobody's in melee. This big orc, Yarnog, comes out of the shadows heading toward the catapults. You may take a shot at him now.
Yes, okay.
It's only going to be, let's see, you're shooting in the dark still, so minus 15.
Okay. First time firing a bow.
Nice. And what armor is this dude wearing? Just chain?
Probably. Let me double check that, though. I know it's either chain or rigid leather.
Okay. Either way, it's not going to be a
Agbarium. Rigid leather.
Oh, okay. 5 hits.
Okay.
I think
so you graze him.
Back to the sword.
And he gets all the way down here, and he's going to attack this firelighter next turn. And see, actually, he sees the orc run by him, and he's kind of changing what he was planning on doing. All right, Mhenuk, you see somebody else come out of the barn.
Okay.
All right, next turn. What are you doing, Mhenuk?
I'm going to move down behind, towards the firelighter and the other orc.
Okay. Yarnog is going to attack this Volsegi, who saw him coming, so he's going to defend himself, parry, and counterattack. And the Lancer is going to drop his burden and also attack Yarnog. This Volsegi up here is going to come up behind him, joining Mhenuk. And Aragost, what are you doing?
Well, he's the only person here right now, so I'll head down there to them as well. I can make it to pretty much anywhere down there I need to make with him. So,
all right. Well, I'll give him first move because he's so very much outnumbered.
As he sees that now.
How's an 81 versus chain?
What's he swinging? Is that a two-handed weapon?
That is a two-handed weapon. Yes.
It's like
it's plus 10 versus chain. So
yeah,
big pickaxe.
91, 11 hits. Or sorry, never mind. I was opening the one-handed concussion thing. 91 versus chain is 12 and an A critical.
Ooh.
So the secondary critical is going to get canceled out, but the puncture critical 45 is minor forearm wound plus 2 hits if no armor stunned 1 round.
All right, so he's stunned and can't do anything. But the Lancer comes around and gets to attack at minus 10. So minus 25 total. 57 versus rigid leather.
Broadsword is also two-handed, right?
No, it's one-handed weapon.
57 versus rigid is nothing.
Okay. And then we got this guy coming down here. Oh, actually, Aragost gets to move before all of that happened.
Yeah, close enough down here.
This guy's going to get there. Oh, and those fellows are not going to engage. Yes, movement is happening right now. You see some guys coming out of the inn and into the edge of the light up there. All right, next turn. Mhenuk, what are you going to do?
I think I'm going to step up to Yarnak and hit him.
Okay. All of the NPCs, except for the guy that was injured, are going to pretty much do the same thing. He's going to step back and kind of try and fan the flames on the catapult, which is just starting to catch. Yarnak is going to try and step around the Lancer and attack him while trying to keep everybody else kind of more in front of him. And then these guys up here to the north are going to charge into the fray. Actually, no, they're going to shoot their bows because they've got bows. So then missile weapons go first. Mhenuk is closest, but it is dark. 525. Ouch, I'm sorry.
Oof. 137 versus my chain.
Yeah, just let me know the level of that crit and how much damage.
Yeah, 22D critical.
Ow.
62.
So you take 22 off the bat.
Yeah, 22 off the bat, and then a D critical puncture. That might be real bad. 111.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's bad. Strike through leg,
101.
artery severed, down and unconscious, 12 hits per round.
A D critical is only plus 10. It's 101.
Oh,
Not 111.
well, that's good. Oh, math. Okay. That's still bad, but not as bad.
Yes.
Major abdominal wound, 10 hits, 6 per round, negative 20 activity, stunned for 4.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, probably a gut shot is slightly better than arterial bleeding from the leg.
Yeah, it wasn't
But,
to the eye.
But not by much.
How much was the additional hits?
10 extra hits and 6
six
per round.
So
Okay.
next round, start taking 6 extra.
Yep, but I've already taken all the damage and the activity penalty. I am back to not being able to move.
Oh, fortunately,
that's-
the other guy
Do this.
actually does not have a bow. Lucky for you.
Very good.
Will he just throw his arrow again?
He does have a warhammer he can throw, but he's too far away for that. I was like, oh, this is kind of too easy. They're going to roll over these guys. Nope.
Nope, not anymore.
Once the numbers advantage gets evened out.
Yeah. Okay. So Yarnock moves. Actually,
No.
Aragost gets first
Yarnock
motion.
doesn't move. Ice smacky smacky.
Yeah.
That's the modifier.
His defensive bonus is 15, and he has not parrying because he's an arrogant cuss.
Yeah, he has a good reason to be arrogant. I don't think that's enough to kill him.
75 versus rigid leather is 3 hits.
Okay. Now he moves and attacks the Lancer. 30. Wow.
133. The Lancer's wearing chain, right?
Yes, he is. So 143.
28 and a D critical. So that's going to be a 104 puncture critical, which is major abdominal wound, 10 hits, 6 per round, negative 22 activity, stunned for 4 rounds. And then a crush critical as well, 49. That is blow to the forearm, 5 hits, if no armor is stunned for 1 round.
I'm really happy.
So much for that guy.
Yeah, I'm really happy I don't have to track their critical damage they put out.
All right, so then...
Yeah, I don't want to think about how much math I have to put into that. And now I don't.
110 versus rigid leather.
12 and a B critical, which I think is going to be nothing. Yeah, 14 minus 10. Yep, no hits. A glancing blow.
So this fellow is reloading. That's a crossbow, so it's going to take him 2 turns, fortunately for you.
Yep.
Hergrim
And does this
here
turn count as the first stun round, or is it 4 more that I'm stunned?
I'm going to say yes, because you're going past your normal action.
Right.
And not getting to do anything.
And I don't think you're going to manage this round.
Nope.
Do that preemptively, so I don't forget to do it later. Now you know how I normally feel in combat.
I was on a roll. I was breaking hips.
See, that's what you need to do. You need to bring your hammer back out. Just you need to remember, you sometimes got to remember, you just kind of got to stop it right there, and it's time for the hammer.
Problem with hammers is you have to get close enough to people first.
So Mhenuk is writhing on the ground in pain.
Mm-hmm.
You can, if you like, try and crawl out away from the fray, or you can just kind of collapse behind that box and use it as cover.
I mean, I don't think I have movement until I'm not stunned anymore.
You can move, but I think with your -2 activity, you might be have a movement of 0.
Yeah, my movement rate is -40. That's what it's calculated out to be. So
yeah, you're not going anywhere. All right, so then Yarnock is going to... He stunned the Lancer, so he's going to attack Aragost this time. Fulsegi is going to attack him. Other Fulsegi is saying, hey, this catapult is on fire. And he sees this other guy coming, so he's going to move to intercept Hergrim. And Hergrim, they'll fight each other.
Is Hergrim an orc?
Hergrim is not. He is human.
Okay.
Actually, we have a picture of Hergrim.
I was going to say, human like me or human?
He's the leader of the cult Tirith. He's
Oh, that guy.
Oh, actually, yeah, I should not have put him in this combat. You need some reinforcements. It's not Hergrim. It's just a Kultirith sergeant.
Okay.
Because he was gonna mess you up.
You mean like put like an arrow through our gut?
No, that was what his henchman did.
Okay, good. I was gonna say if he's more like me, yeah, Yardock, you're fine. I have somewhere else to be. No, it's a sergeant. Yeah, sergeant's fine. He can handle himself for a little bit.
Yeah. Let's see, a Kultirith sergeant. Yeah, that's much better.
Like we have 2 PCs for this fight. Yeah. Mini boss
right.
might not be very fun.
So Aragost, you move first. Kill that orc, please.
Smack orc.
See, his defensive bonus is still 15.
Yay.
However, he is flanked. We should be counting that too. So that's, I think that just counteracts his defensive bonus. So just 0.
Flank is 15.
Good. Eh. Ooh.
Nice, not bad. 154 versus rigid leather is maxed out, so that's 22 and an E critical.
What level is he?
Yarnag is Yarnag, whatever his name is. He's level 6.
Oh, wow.
And your critical is a medium thigh wound, 6 more hits, 1 hit per round, -10 activity, stunned for 2 rounds.
Stun 2.
Mm-hmm.
And how many hits per round did you say?
1.
Okay. Excellent. So we ought to be able to take him down. Jacob, what's the bonus for opponent stunned?
For what? Anything?
No, for when your opponent is stunned?
Oh, but does it matter the weapon type or no?
I don't think it does. It's a one-handed edged.
Yeah, stunned is 20.
20? Okay. Let's hand axe him.
Okay.
There we go. That ought to be a kill.
Yeah, 119 versus rigid leather is 15 and a C critical. And 90 C critical is going to be an instant kill, I think. Yeah, that is, 90 C is 0, 90. Disemboweled, dies instantly. 25% chance your weapon is stuck in the opponent for 2 rounds.
All right, these guys.
And NPC got the kill. Yay.
Well, this is what happens when half of your party just decides not to show up. And speaking of the other half of the party, let's jump back into the Tirthon and a week into the future to find out what Mhutvak and Glock are doing. And so you follow these guys up the stairs, and they're coming forward with the timber, ready to start ramming on that door. Tonfall says, "Lads, this is nonsense. What do you think you're doing, Olaf, Varger? Tell the man to put that beam down. This is no way to get things done." Varger says, "Well, sir, we definitely want to be paid. I mean, if the silver is there, why won't they just tell us?" And about this point, Oswy shouts through the door, "We found it. We have the money in here, but I need you lads to back away from the door. Aldhelm's been hurt. We need to get him some help, but I'm not going to open the door while you're still out there." Mhutvak or Glock, do you have anything to contribute to the situation?
Just keeping an eye out.
It feels like they got this under control. I mean, kind of.
All right. Well, if you just stand back. See, now we got authority figures involved. So when in doubt, make a die roll.
There you go.
Tonfall rolls great.
Nice.
It's open-ended, so let's add some more. Okay, 126. So yes, fortunately, they do seem to have it under control. They managed to talk the men out of battering down the door, but there's a big argument. People are shouting at each other.
in high spirits. They've all been cooped up together for too long, and they're a passionate race. But eventually it takes, what do my notes say how long it takes? I have this written down somewhere. Half an hour. Okay, so it takes about 40 minutes. And they're all shouting, and you hear just like faintly occasionally, you can hear Oswy shouting with more and more desperation, trying to get the men to leave, but they're just ignoring him. But eventually, Tonfall and Wiglaf manage to talk them down, and they all disperse. And when Oswy opens the door, he's got Aldhelm in his arms, and the old man's face is gray, and his eyes are kind of buggy, and he is quite dead. And he's got his left hand is all swollen and purple. Oswy reaches over and just closes the old man's eyes, and he's looking both sad and angry over this. Wiglaf has followed the other men back downstairs, and Tonfall is looking, and he's got a tear in his eyes. He says, "Oh, sir, what happened?" Oswy says, "We found the silver in a hidden compartment in Marindil's dresser, but it was protected by some kind of trap. It injected some poison into Aldhelm's arm, and well, I wasn't able to make the men understand that they needed to leave so we could get Yanfled in here, and now he's dead."
Oh, that escalated quickly.
"I'm afraid this is a bad blow to us all. Aldhelm was well liked by the men. They'll be heartbroken that he's passed on. But this was all a big mess. I'd rather not anybody be punished over this. I think we've got enough tension as it is. But take him down to the cellars, put him in the back room, wrap him well. We'll try to find time. Maybe we'll burn his body or something. We can't have him rotting away all winter here. But I'm loath to just toss him out into the snow either. We'll figure something out." Tonfall nods his head and goes to get some help to move the body. And once again, back out to Ynarri's Drift, to Aragost and Mhenuk.
100 versus... And is the sergeant wearing rigid leather or is he wearing chain? Oh, he's wearing soft leather. All right.
Yep.
100 versus soft leather is 13 and a B critical, so the critical is going to be nothing, but it's 13 hits.
Okay. Yarnak is down. And the other guy is reloading. End of turn.
So now we take blood loss, right?
Right.
Yeah. I already put into the hits taken, because otherwise I might forget.
Actually, since you were stunned, you can at least suppress your blood loss during that turn.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to do that if I can, for sure.
Bandage yourself.
So he doesn't take any of that.
Well, no, he takes 3 still, because you can't stop 6 hits per turn with a bandage. You'd have to use a tourniquet, but I don't imagine you want to put a tourniquet around your waist. And
so he's still at taking 3, though. Okay.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, okay, so I'm at 49 then. And I'm still taking 3 hits per round.
Yep.
Cool, and I'm stunned through 2 more actions. All right.
So that means next round, bandage the other part. So you bandage the front, now you just kind of have to reach around back and bandage the back.
Afraid that's not how it works. It's 1 wound. This was a crossbow, so he's still reloading. The Volsegi that just killed Yarnog, that guy's name is too hard to say, is going to join his friend and attack the Kulturith Sergeant, as is the Lancer. Aragost?
As I am, and he is only about 10 feet away from me, so I can just walk that 10 feet and slash him, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And he's got a parry for all he's worth.
Because he sees everybody coming for him.
Do parries work against multiple attackers, or do you just get to parry the first one?
He can only parry with 1 person, so he's actually going to run away. He's not going
to... Too bad he doesn't get a move till after we all swing.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm either going to die here, or I'm going to live, or I'm going to run away.
Yep.
So go
All
for
right,
the legs.
So Aragost, you got the first move.
Give him a good slashy.
15. Oh, yeah. What's the modifier?
Minus 20, including his flanking penalty.
And he's wearing soft leather, you said.
Soft leather.
That's a pretty good modifier for him.
Well, his
Minus
defensive
20.
bonus is 35. So, yeah.
Aw.
Less than ideal. That is 5 hits.
It's how many?
5.
Okay. And let's see. This dude.
And everybody just hit him, just completely surround him and
That'll do
swing
it.
into.
125 versus soft leather's 19 and a D critical. 19 and the critical is blow to the upper leg, 5 hits. If no leg armor, 3 hits and 2 hits per round.
That might put him down, actually. Nope, not
Did
quite.
Oswey just send his best men with us?
Apparently. They're not very good against wolves, but
versus orcs.
No, this guy's human.
Somebody was
The sergeant's human. He's not an orc.
the
In the
Lancer's
defense,
still stunned.
I got 2 of the orcs.
That is very true.
So
Oh,
then-
look, there's an orc who doesn't see me. Oh, look, there's an orc who doesn't see anything now.
Is that another attack against the sergeant?
Yes, it is.
93. That is 12 and a B critical. So it's going to be 22. Which is another blow to the upper leg. 5 hits. If no leg armor, 3 hits and 2 per round.
I told them to go for the legs.
Yep. I'm imagining one then the other.
Yeah. Hey, the next time I'm playing this game, I'm definitely taking the leg armor.
I really need to as well. I think
Everybody
once
gets
we-
leg greaves.
Yeah, I think once we make it back to the keep, I'm going to track down some of those +5 leg greaves.
Yeah, I'll take a month. I guess you can use the human-sized ones. I'll take a month
Yes, I
to
can.
sabbatical to make them for the other dwarves.
Everybody come. They finally come back. Here you go. Here's a whole new set of leg greaves for everybody.
Okay, Lancer's bandaging himself. What is his hit point total? Okay, he's still alive. That's good. Next turn. Oh, wait. Tirthon gets to run away.
And minute
So
6
he
says
gets
3. Just so I don't forget again.
65. Yeah, so he gets all the way heck out of there. And as he runs by, his buddy comes with him. And you hear the door of the inn slam. So they're fording up inside there.
Good.
Hey, that gives us time to light everything on fire.
Let's assume that one of these guys has enough, a little skill in sewing at least.
As a young boy, his mother taught him how to make dresses.
So 56 on the
There you
static
go.
maneuver table.
Oh, so do I take another turn of bleed first?
This guy has failed to stabilize you, so yeah, you take another turn of bleeding.
Okay.
Should be 41 now total, right?
I think I'm
Stop.
46. That's what I recorded myself as, at least.
Okay.
Because I never took a 6 tick.
Yeah, you've been taking your 3 since then. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Did I miss a 5 somewhere?
You had more than I did. I only had 41.
I had 47 somehow.
47 hits taken for me or 47 remaining?
47 taken.
Okay.
Oh, so what is your original total?
84. Yeah, because I only recorded what's 46 up to 84. I only recorded 38, so that's significantly off.
Well, this
Alright.
included the current turn.
Well, yeah, that's how I got up to 41 was the current turn.
Well, maybe I added one I wasn't supposed to.
Yeah,
The
because
fact that we all have different numbers is not.
Yeah,
So
because
who's got the best number?
mine was only 41.
41 hits taken.
Actually, I think Jacob's was 38. Mine was 41. Yours was 47.
Yep.
But I don't think his 38 counted the 3 for the current turn.
Okay, that would make sense.
So, yeah, I have 41 then.
I thought it did.
We'll call it.
Do you count bleed on the first turn? Because that's what I did not do.
No, I did not.
Weird. Okay. Yeah, I must have missed something.
All right. Well, we'll call it 41 at this point.
Cool.
And it's going to take. You're going to definitely be unconscious by the time you get back to the castle.
Yep.
As long as he can make it past those first 2 wrongs by himself, we can drag him the rest of the way up that tunnel.
Well, no, all you got to do is drop him.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, it won't feel good, but you've got a constitution of 83. You'll be fine.
It's better than drowning. I have a higher constitution than a dwarf.
Let's see.
Yes. No, I rolled really badly on my last 2 body development rolls. I think I got a total of 4 on 2 dice. It was very sad.
I was going by your constitution value.
Oh, the constitution? Yeah, I don't put all my points into agility and strength.
I'm going to hand wave it and say that you do manage to make it back to the Tirthon in time for Eanfled to save your life.
So how many total will he have taken by then?
Well, by my reckoning, he'll die in about 6 minutes.
Gut shots, man.
Yeah. Let's see if anybody else without skill can save you. That guy can't. The Lancer's dead.
You know, the Lancer has a chance. The Lancer... No, not the Lancer.
Oh, man.
This guy
I
has
just
a
rolled
way
for
he
him.
can do it. Oh, I was going to say he has a different way he can do it. Cauterize
Actually,
the wound.
that's true.
We do have a fire right here.
I
just
think that's
kinda
going to be up to
roll
you.
Just roll Vahidic into the fire. Cauterize the wound. He doesn't have any hair to burn off.
That's true.
Okay,
Well,
let me pull up my sheet. What in the world am I supposed to roll for this?
Actually, let's take a look at something else.
You know, this is the first combat where I'm walking away from it better off than I went into it.
Did you not get hit at all?
Not once. I didn't
Wow.
get...
Not bad.
Nobody swung at me. I think one dude was going to shoot me, and then he realized he didn't have a bow to do it with.
Right. I had intended to shoot at you. Do we have anything that stops bleeding?
I can toast up my sword and use that because he's right next to the fire. So just kind
Fevers.
of warm.
I just have, I can repair my bones. Got herb for bone repair.
Nerve damage. Life keeping. Enhanced smell and taste. That's probably not what we need.
I mean, sometimes the dice decide you need to shuffle off this mortal coil.
Yeah, sometimes they do. But you didn't die in the combat, so I'm going to hand wave it and say that you do manage to get back to Eanfled in time to save your life. If you've taken a critical that killed you, then so be it. But hits per turn, I'm not going to do that to you.
Taking a crossbow bolt
Bleeding out
to
from a
the
gut
eye.
wound underground.
So you leave with the catapults and ballista burning merrily behind you, back into the tunnel.
So how many
Leaving
total
a nice-
hits did he take?
All of them. So 84.
84.
And yes, almost dying is going to be worth some extra experience for you, so we'll make sure we get that in there.
I don't even... Misk. Okay, it's going to go in Misk.
I don't know. I've got some good interactive gameplay during the combat.
You really died.
Let's see. You get back to the Tirthon and get some medical attention to Mhenuk. Eanfled is still looking a little drawn and worn, but she's got enough in her to at least stabilize you. Oswy comes down in the midst of all of that and says, I can't think of a appropriate Middle-earthian oath at the moment. Man weighs beard or something like that. And says, well, obviously you found something down there. I thought you were just going to scout it, not get into a fight. What happened?
They were preparing siege engines to take the keep. Catapults and ballistae and some covered battering rams.
You say were. Does that mean that they're not preparing them anymore? What happened?
They are currently on fire, or at least they were last time we were over there.
Well, that is a stroke of good fortune, at least. You've done well and more than I could have expected.
That was all your planning, sir. And as I say that, make sure the other men around hear it.
Oh, nice. Make a leadership roll.
Leadership?
Yes. It'll be down near the bottom of your skill lists.
I have a 5 in it. Any modifiers or anything?
That's okay. Let me take a look at the chart.
Yeah, I told you I had plans to make the men look up to him. I figure, being nobility, everybody kind of looks up to me. And if I'm showing him this respect as nobility, they will want to show him similar respect. Especially if I say he's earned it and he's done well.
Interaction and influence.
I think I've tried this before and it didn't work out well, but
given what you've just done, let's see, audience is personally loyal is plus 50. So I'll say plus 30.
Cool. Better than a 2.
You overhear one of the soldiers say, listen to that oily tongue.
That's right.
Your audience will not be receptive to any of your attempts to influence them for at least a day.
This is what happened last time.
Well, you didn't have the plus 30 on it though.
Which makes that
that's
even
a 62.
I put the plus 30 in the modifier. I guess it didn't take it.
Doesn't show up in the list. Maybe
Weird.
that's like the stock and hide when it is broken. Okay, let's take a look at that for 62.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
Same result. You need a 76 or better.
Oh, so close. So close then.
All right. And that's a medium influence.
Oh, nice. So yeah, that's going to be... I actually got
XP.
more experience from maneuvers than I did anything else.
All right.
Taking damage.
So Oswy does say, Mhenuk is very gravely wounded. If it's not too much trouble, could I ask you to give up your bed to him?
Of course.
He'll heal much better on a proper bed than sleeping down there with the Wiali.
Yeah.
As this has all gone on, outside the Dunmen have fully encircled the Tirthon. There's no getting in or out anymore, probably, unless somebody wanted to brave the Evilwood, which none of the Volsegi seem too eager to do. Although it looks like the Dunmen have been sending some patrols through there. They don't have the same superstitions, having not lived here. There's still a column of smoke coming up from behind Ynarri's drift where those siege engines burned. If the orcs are going to construct any more, it'll take them at least another couple of days, particularly since a couple of them were killed. So it looks like everybody is settling in for a proper siege for a little while. At dinner that evening, everybody is pretty well somber. The word has gotten around that Oswy and Aldhelm did in fact find the silver and the payroll is fine. Varger's pride doesn't allow him to unbend enough to approach Mhutvak and apologize or anything. He mostly gives both of you a wide berth. And the other men in the corridor, Olaf
Good
comes,
for him.
Olaf comes by and he says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I know some things were said about you and your people that they weren't fair and they weren't right. And honestly, I don't know what came over us and came over Vargar. It's just, I feel like my mind is clouded. I'm more touchy than I usually am. And, all of us, we're fighters, we're warriors. We have high spirits, but I don't know, something just
just feels wrong in the air lately. He says, but I'd be very happy if you'd break bread with me and try to put this nonsense behind us.
So I look over at Glock and I wait for his acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm. No, I didn't go. Mm-hmm.
And I look back at, what was his name again?
Olaf.
Olaf. I look back at Olaf and I say, well, laddie, I appreciate what you say. Some of it is not good to be said to anyone, no matter who they are. But in a good faith moment, let's break bread. We'll be joining you.
All right. He sits down at the table and he waves over. The cook is back, and he has eventually baked some bread. And so he brings over a tray full of rolls and some good meat, some carrots, and you enjoy a meal together with Olaf. But that bread kind of tastes funny. Each of you give me a resistance roll against poison. 65. Let's see. I need to look up
65.
the level of this thing.
Any modifiers?
Nope. Ooh, nice roll.
Thanks.
So then, Glock, I know you're level 4. Mhutvak, are you still level 4 also?
I believe so. Let me check real quick.
It doesn't matter. I think you.
Yes, I am.
I think you both succeeded. Yes, you did.
Oof.
Very good.
A little concerned.
And so now, actually, Glock, you have been reading that book, so both of you give me a perception roll. Minus 20.
Perception. Okay.
All right, so you know that the bread definitely tastes funny, but you have no idea why, and it doesn't trigger any awareness that you have that there might be something wrong with it. Other than, it should be fairly fresh, you just brought it in.
Oh,
yeah.
This is nice bread. Seems okay.
All right, and I think that will be the end of it for this evening. This was episode 5 of The Dark Mage of Rhudaur. Music for this podcast is provided by Dark Fantasy Studio.